Hey guys, JDubsRW here, and today I'm going to do a how to draw video. This is my first how to draw video, and I'm going to do it on an anime face front view. It's going to be a girl, so let's just get started. First you're going to want to draw a basic circle. Then you want to draw a horizontal line, a vertical line, cutting that circle in half. Then a horizontal line, cutting the circle into fourths. Then you want another horizontal line, cutting it from here to here in half. Another one cutting here, this to this in half, and then this to this in half. That'll give you 4 equal sections to set up the eyes, eyebrows, and nose. So the eyes, you want this this little section right here. You want to start with the eyelashes. Just do basic kind of lines. And you want it to touch kind of the edge of the circle almost. Then you want to move. I suggest not to get all detailed with one eye and then start the other eye. You should do the basics for each eye first. Do it one step at a time for each eye so they end up looking identical. You want to make sure that the space in between is roughly the same size as each eye in between. Then I'll just put in the iris here. The top and bottom part of the iris is usually obscured by the eyelashes, but you can put the whole iris in if you want, but I usually just cover it up with the eyelashes. Then the nose is at the bottom part of the circle. I'm just doing a basic nose. You could even just do kind of a dot if you want. Then the eyebrows come up in this section. Then you want them kind of a gentle curve, roughly the same size as the eye, but just a bit bigger. Then you can drop in the jaw. You could actually drop in the jaw before this, but a lot of the times I do it later. Start it coming off of the circle like this. You have a turning point right here. And you want to try to keep your lines gently curving. And you want this line where the turning point is, that's going to be the jaw. And you want it to be halfway between the bottom of the circle, or where the nose is, and the tip of the chin, about halfway. And that's also where you're going to put the mouth in. And a nice effect for a mouth, leaving a little space in between. Makes it have a more of a gentle look to it. Then we can start dropping in the hair. I'm just going to do basic kind of triangle-y looking hair. When you're doing the hair, You usually want to start off with the bangs, but you can start wherever you want. And I'm going to drop in the ears. The top of the ears starts about where the top of the eye is, and then it ends right at about the nose. And usually you want to kind of have one strand coming in front of the ear a bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and put the details of the ear. It's not too hard. You can kind of look at your own ear for this, but it has sort of a, kind of looks like an E almost when you do this. Later on some of this is going to be erased, so I'm going to do, sometimes you want kind of this characteristic to your character's hair, characteristic feature, and a good way to do that is have one extra long piece of hair coming in on each side. And when you do the top of the hair, you gotta make sure it kind of follows the same lines as the head, and it comes quite a bit above the headline. The hair doesn't rest right on top of the head, it kind of floats above it to sort of show volume, I guess, or whatever. I'm going to drop in the neck and shoulders. The neck comes in, usually for girls, a little bit less than halfway between the tip of the chin and the jaw. And you want a gentle sloping line for the shoulders. And make sure it's not too big, because you'll end up looking like you have a football player or something. I've made that mistake firsthand, so just heed my warning. Then you want to kind of make the bangs go up a bit higher. And make sure that the lines, the thickness of each strand of hair is, you know, different. They're not all the same thickness, although this one's pretty similar throughout. And you also want the lines of your hair to stop at different points in the picture. So now I'm going to put in the details and final lines. Usually there's a highlight in the eye. I'm just going to do one simple highlight. Then I'm going to do the pupil. And it's just kind of this weird shape where you kind of do the start of a U and then you kind of go back on the edges. And you want the highlight to be the same on each side. And I think these are pretty much all the final lines. Darken them up a bit. I don't know if you could hear that truck. It's probably really obnoxious. I'm sorry. Yeah, you could probably hear that. Obnoxious truck. I'm interrupting my video. want to make sure you got some hairs coming off the bottom of the jawline here. And normally I would ink at this point. But I think I'm just gonna hard darken in the lines. What you would usually want to do is using some sort of inking. Doesn't matter what kind of ink you use. I use Prismacolor. I have different sizes, and they're just these, I don't know, kind of artist inking pens. But I'm not going to ink them this time. I'm just going to kind of darken in the lines. But you would ink it, just kind of go over your lines when you're happy with all of them. And then that way you can erase all the guidelines. I'm just going to kind of try to quickly darken in everything. I just don't want this video to be too long. I think it would be too long if I actually inked it. Then you want to put more detail to the eyelash by adding a couple little lines coming off. Here, just darken it, kind of thicken it up. You can also do eyelashes for the bottom of the eye too. That looks kind of ugly. I'm not gonna put any eyelashes at the bottom, but you could if you want. Just erasing the guidelines here. But you do want to at least darken everything in. Make it nice and thick. Try to keep it the same on each side. Darken in the eyebrows. And it's weird with anime how the eyebrows kind of show through the hair. And when a hairpiece comes down in front of the eye, it doesn't cover the eye. It just kind of stops. But I think it ends up looking good if you do that. It's just kind of weird because that's of course not how real life works. Then you want to darken in the pupil part. And maybe you could add lines here at the bottom for can't think of what they're called. Those, you know, the lines in your eye. I don't know what they're called. I kind of forget right now. The colored part of your eye. Then lightly shade that in. I am going to do the shading, but just really quick. You could get more in detail with the shading. But all I'm going to do is just do the hair really quick. Just kind of a light color. You want to kind of loosen your grip on the pencil when you're shading. And you can shade with whatever tools you want. I usually just shade with a pencil like I'm using right now, just a regular wooden pencil. You can shade with shading tools or whatever. You want kind of want the direction of your lines to be flowing with the hair so it looks a bit more natural. You could add a highlight in the hair, but I'm not going to do that. Sometimes adding a highlight makes it look a little weird. You have to do it right. I'm not going to put in a highlight this time. I don't know if you can hear that truck again. I don't know why it's being so obnoxious. But yes, I think I'm going to end the video here. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.